The best thing I can say about Super Bowl 53 is thank God that's over. God, that sucked. I'm sorry. I know you're going to have those people out there that thought this was refreshing, that this was some great defensive battle, this great defensive showdown, and all of that crap. The simple reality is this Super Bowl was boring as bricks. And this may have been, not just me getting caught up in the moment of saying this, but this may have been the single most boring Super Bowl that I ever watched. Ever. Over 3 decades. The most boring Super Bowl ever. Now, sure, there are going to be those that say, well, you don't have an appreciation for defensive football. Ding dong, that's wrong. There's going to be some of you that say, well, there's all these other blowouts over the years. How do you find those more entertaining than this low-scoring competitive game? Because this was boring, and at least those other games that you referenced, the blowouts, especially in the 80s and early 90s, at least there was something going on. There was some type of action, for crying out freaking loud. This was nothing. This was 3+ quarters of a snooze fest. One little blip on the radar of life, and then the finish just kind of petered out. This was bad. Like, the only redeeming quality of this game was that Maroon 5 performed at halftime, and they were so bad that it reminded you that there still indeed could be things in the world worse than Super Bowl 53. The game sucked. The commercials sucked. Literally the best things about the day were the Kitten Bowl and the Puppy Bowl. Hashtag Team Bumble, you damn right. Infinitely more interesting, infinitely more entertaining than this snooze fest of a game. And for those that are going to sit there and talk about this great bastion of defense and how this was a defensive showdown, who the hell are you crapping? Perhaps it is in the eye of the beholder, that's fine. But the simple fact of the matter is that Brady had moments where he was less than sharp in this game. He made some poor throws and some bad decisions, and Jared Goff looked even worse. He had that Tony Eason, Rex Grossman, deer in the headlights type of look on him, like the moment was massively too big for him. And all this hype and all this buzz about fucking Sean McVay. Sean McVay showed up to the big game, and he frankly got his shit pushed in. Now, you look at the Rams and what the hell they tried to do on offense in the biggest game of the year. You don't know. I still don't know. What the hell were you hoping to accomplish? What the hell was your identity? What the hell was your game plan? Nothing. There was no attempt to establish a real identity. There was no attempt to try and shake shit up. There was no attempt to try and take chances, to take risks. There was nothing. You coach scared. You play scared. When you play scared, you lose, period. Now, you watch Jared Goff. How much of that are you really going to attribute to the Patriots? And I'm not just trying to take away from the Patriots here because they ultimately won this game. You could make an argument in all 3 rounds of the playoffs that they played. They faced superior teams in terms of overall talent, and they beat all 3 of them. The Patriots earned this. They deserve this. Because on that day, they were better than all those teams, and they most certainly were better than the Rams on this day. And this is not just some Patriots hate thing. Because for years, I have been on the Tom Brady bandwagon. I am very comfortable with calling him the GOAT, not only of quarterbacks, but of NFL players of all time, because that's what the fuck he is. And I used to sit there for years and talk about how he was better than Peyton Manning before it was cool for everybody else to join in on that shit. I've talked about for a few years now about how Bill Belichick is the greatest coach of all time. Gronkowski is a future Hall of Famer. This isn't Patriots hate. Just some games are better than others. I would have much rather have seen a 40-10 blowout than this shit that we got. Because even in the 4th quarter, when this is a 3-3 game, it was still lame as hell. I'm waiting for something to pick up, something exciting to happen. And the closest thing that we got was a couple of big plays by Gronk. It was like his Gronk spike to his career, the perfect way to cap it off. That's what it was. And all this talk about Edelman and the really nice game that he had, he deserved to be Super Bowl MVP, no question about it. But all along, dreading the fact that over the course of 3+ hours, knowing if Edelman ends up being Super Bowl MVP is only going to accelerate the ridiculousness of this talk of him being a Pro Football Hall of Famer someday. You want to see a damn Hall of Famer? You saw one for the Patriots on offense not named Tom Brady. It was Gronkowski. Because when it came to nut-cutting time, and it was time for the Patriots to stop fucking around, they didn't go to Edelman. They went to Gronkowski for the big plays. That's a Hall of Famer right there. I think this game was ugly early on. Brady with the really bad throw interception. Then you sit there, you got the Gostkowski missed field goal. Like, there were opportunities. This game shouldn't even have been that close. The Rams couldn't do squat on offense. What the hell's going on with Todd Gurley? Either he's hurt and he shouldn't have suited up at all, period. Or, God damn it, you're in the biggest game of your freaking season. You're in the Super Bowl. Figure out a way to run Todd Gurley down their damn throats. Him and C.J. Anderson. The Rams' formula for success, especially if you're going to be able to play that level of defense, allegedly in this game, was to sit there and run the ball 25, 30+ times. And they refused to commit to it. You put the game in Jared Goff's hands early on when it was clearly obvious early that he didn't have it that day, brother. And some, again, we'll talk about, well, the Patriots' defense made him feel like that. Nah, Goff was pretty terrible from the beginning, before the defense even really did anything. It was just bad. Like all the fans in New Orleans talking about how the Rams didn't deserve to be there. Well, shit, based off of the way they played on Sunday, they most certainly acted like they didn't want to. And there I go. That's what I get for picking the Rams to win this freaking game when I damn sure should have known better. But then I picked the teams, the score, and actually assumed that multiple touchdowns would be scored. Shame on fucking me. And what a weird cap to the season this is. In a season with all types of big-time offensive performances. You got Mahomes throwing for 5,000 yards and 50 TDs. You got a game between the Chiefs and the Rams. What did it finish at? 54-51? All these other high-scoring affairs. And now we get to the biggest game of the year. The perfect way to cap off this freaking season. It's the lowest-scoring Super Bowl in history. Defense is cool. I'd like to see some offense too. A little bit of balance. And you know what? For the Trey Wingles and those other fucksticks of the world mocking fans for saying this game was boring, you know what? Not every game is going to be great. Some games are fucking lame, and the vast majority of people believe that this game was lame. This game was boring. This game sucks. And them's is the fucking breaks. It's okay. Not every Super Bowl can be a barn burner and a classic. But it doesn't change the fact that this may very well have been the lamest, most boring Super Bowl that I have ever seen. Will the Patriots be back in the fold again? Probably. That's not even what makes this boring. And granted, the thought of the Patriots winning yet another Super Bowl doesn't elicit a lot of excitement. The thought of the Rams being in the Super Bowl instead of the Saints or, let's say, my Bears, it doesn't elicit a lot of excitement. But once you get to the Super Bowl, it's still the Super Bowl, and you hope you get a high enough quality of play on all sides of the ball that you get something. And at least you could say, for those that are going to say, well, would you rather have this had 45-42? Yes, because at least there would have been some fucking action then. This was so bad. Perfect way to cap off this crappy-ass season. All the scoring and all the freaking world and all these massive offensive numbers and records being set. And we get to the Super Bowl and it's 13-3. Good Christ. This game sucked. Boring.